Hello friends, one more time also in English. I told you I will make all my videos in English since now, but okay, this time is not pure technique, but I will talk about how to use the leaves, the small leaves that we usually put in our tanks, that each day I see more and more in the models in the contest. So I would like to explain you how to use in the proper way the leaves in our tanks, because seems easy but it's not, because many of you, well, not I don't know exactly who are in the other side, but some people use in the wrong way. Sometimes they put the leaves in places where it's not logic, or they are very shy when they add the leaves, but there are some tips that I would like to explain you in the next video that you will see. I am talking of course about those. You see that there are many types. As you can see, they are really small, and this is because it's for tanks, it's for detailing, it's not for to fill a whole diorama full of leaves in the floor. We must use a different technique for that, but this is just for detailing. For example, if you are making a small vignette, or like in my case, for tanks or small things. So let's go and see how to use the leaves in your tanks.
There are a large variety of leaves in the market, but these are the ones that I really like it. You can use it for different scales, and you can find with different shapes, which is really important. As you can see, the quantity is not so big, but remember that it's for tanks and vignettes. You can find also in different colors. Since the Second World War, the army used the vegetation to camouflage the tanks and the vehicles, but it's right now when we can see a lot of color photos where we can appreciate the use of the foliage and vegetation over the tanks. Usually, the crews cut the branches from the trees and use it to camouflage the tanks. With time, the leaves were detached from the branches and accumulated in the holes of the tanks. This kind of camouflage is not typical only from the European areas, but also in the desertic areas, where even in Syria you can see tanks camouflaged with branches and leaves. Also, sometimes the leaves are combined with hair and other kind of textures like fibers and other kind of things. Even in burned out tanks you can see the leaves over the surfaces or around the turrets, like you can see here. But now let's see how to apply the leaves in a small vignette like this one, which is a good example. All that we need is a trowel, tweezers, and a toothpick to apply the white glue in the surface. The white glue is the best option to glue the leaves, because when it dries, the final look will be completely transparent. Put a drop of white glue and now expand the white glue with a toothpick. Now open the box and take the leaves with the tweezers. Be careful, because sometimes those small leaves are fixed to the cap. Take the tweezers and take only one leaf. Now just touch it with the white glue and it will be ready to be placed in your diorama. Just place it and press with the tweezers softly. Repeat the process and apply more leaves in your diorama. Try to be random and try to place them in different positions. As you can see, the final look is realistic and nice, and we are using really small amount of leaves. Another tip is apply first the white glue with the toothpick and then place the leaves. Especially with the small ones, this technique could be very interesting. If some of them are not enough glued, you can reuse in another place. Well, this is the final look of our vignette, and as you can see, it's attractive and realistic. We use a really small amount of leaves and it's more than enough. It's it's very important to be random and irregular. Now let's go to an vehicle. Use the same method and place it with the tweezers. Try to place them in logic areas and try to concentrate in some parts. For example, here is only one leaf, a small group, and another single leaf. Here we can apply the leaves over the heart and other things like the plastic bottles. In that case, with only 3 leaves will be more than enough to give a sensation of accumulated vegetation. Remember that less is more, so it's not necessary to apply a bigger quantity of leaves. Well, this is the final look again. Everything is perfectly integrated and the look is nice. It's not necessary overdo it. Sometimes with only one single leaf is more than enough to make a realistic effect. Try to combine it with hair and another material like branches or fibers. In dioramas, you can use more variety of colors as well as in big scales. You can mix it also with hair and make a kind of mixture that sometimes could be even more realistic, like for example in these T34 fenders.
Okay guys, that's all. I hope it was interesting for you. It's not so complicated to understand how to use the leaves, and I think that can be a nice touch in your models, but don't forget it, don't use in all your models, just be selective and don't forget one thing, less is more, always, especially in this kind of details. So that's all, I hope you like it. Thank you for staying there. If you have any comment, any suggestion, please write in the comments right here, and I will try to think new videos about that. And finally, one more time about my t-shirt. This is in honor to my Japanese friends. Arigatou gozaimashita, tomodachi. I really like that country. It's the center of the world. Of the modeling. Maybe one day I will make a video about Japan and what is the meaning of Japan inside the modeling world. Thank you guys and see you next time. Bye bye.